Welcome to Noobs to Foodies. I'm just gonna zoom in a bit. See if you can't. Whoa, not that much. No, whoa. You don't need a close up on my eyebrow or my glasses or whatever the heck's going on there.
Or do we? Dum dum dum.
Okay. I'm leaving it in, that's funny. Anywho, welcome to Noobs to Foodies. I'm Amelia.
And I'm Trevor.
We are doing, as the title down below said, a pesto. I put it in quotation marks because it's a pea-based sauce without cilantro. Cilantro tastes like soap to me. I hate cilantro. And I think Trevor, either he's had it and he doesn't like it, or he's pretty sure he wouldn't like it. So that's why we're not doing, I don't know if this is like technically pesto. It's a sauce that's made out of peas with herbs in it. I'll just put it that way. And we're also doing, as you can see on the side, beans, and then we have fried rice, which I'm not doing the technical term. Fried rice is the technical way, I mean. You're supposed to put it in the fridge, let it be cold, and then do it. So I'm doing the slightly less crispy, straight from boiled way, which may not seem very good and foodie and cook-wise to you, but I don't care. It's easier that way. And we also have pork that we're just going to fry up. But we're going to fry it a little longer, or like double fry it, or whatever you want to call it. So it has that slight more kind of like grilled taste. So that's what we're doing.
Alright. We have a equipment upgrade. We got a brand new camera that it's very nice. It's got a viewfinder, makes it easier for us to see.
Yeah, a little it's not that bright in real life. I don't know. Well, there we go. It's still not that bright in real life.
So yeah, we should be able to make better videos for you guys now at this point.
Okay, so now we're going to do the sauce. Trevor's going to add them. We have a half a cup of peas.
Okay, so start with that.
Everything's added to the blender. We have a half a cup of water.
Oh, okay.
Now, I'm using warm/hot water. I would say warm, tap warm. Just hot from the tap, basically. Now, you might have to adjust the portions of the peas in the water depending on how much you're making and the thickness you want. And then we have the herb mixture I showed you. Now, after he adds all the herbs, he's going to grab the pepper, and then he's going to take off the top of the pepper lid, because we have a shaker, and he's going to measure out 1/4 of the pepper. Because I completely forgot to add it, because I constantly do that. But it's kind of funny since I love it.
Onto the blades there.
Yeah, some got onto the blades, but that's normal. Now, this is a blender, not a food processor, by the way.
Okay. And you said 1/4 of pepper?
Yep.
Okay.
The reason we're measuring it out is because I just want you guys to be able to have measurements. Usually I would just sprinkle 8 or 9 times, so there's also that. You could just sprinkle 8 or 9 times if you wanted to. But I'm measuring it out so it's a little easier for you guys to follow. So there you go. I will blend it for like, I don't know, a moment on camera. Then we'll be back when it's done blending. So.
And
yeah.
Just a warning, this may get loud, so be warned to turn your volume down.
I'll just back you up so you can get a better view, but also so it's not so loud. Alright. Now, the way that this one works is the power is the lid. There we go, people. Okay, so I have blended it. Now, personally, since this is going on meat, this is too runny, in my opinion. Don't know if you can tell, but look how loosely that moves around in there. Yeah, no, I don't like that. I want it thicker. I don't know about Trevor, if he cares, but when it's on meat, I was taught that it should be a slightly thicker sauce, because then it sticks to the meat better. So I'm going to add 2 tablespoons at a time more of peas until I get the right texture that I want. And if you want it this runny, you can just leave it, or you can add tablespoons at a time, or even another half a cup if you really want to. But I'm going to go with 2 tablespoons at a time until I get the right texture. And once I get the right texture, I will show you. Okay, so I only added 2 tablespoons to it. And I'm going to take that off. By the way, this just goes on like this, and then you turn it to lock it. And it can go on in different directions, but only a few. So here's how thick it is. It still moves around decently freely. I'll zoom out for you. It still moves around decently freely, if you can tell. But it is, I'm blocking your light there, sorry. It is more thick than it was. It's probably halfway between runny and thick, It's creamy, is the best way to describe it. Now, I use cold from the freezer frozen peas for that. And the reason I do that is because I find they make it more creamy without having to add cream. Now, that might not be the official, actual method of how to make pea sauce or pesto or whatever, but I find it just works better without having to add that heavy cream or any type of cream which adds fat and calories. And I'm on a somewhat low calorie diet as well as low salt, so it just helps. So now we're going to fry up our meat. Trevor's going to do that.
Okay.
And
I'll be over here.
I was going to add that to the pork, but I really want to show you it being mixed in, so I'm just going to add it to the rice. So I'm just going to add it into the rice, and then I'll do it over here so you can see what I'm doing. I will show you it mixing in. Just a wooden spoon, by the way. Try not to block too much of your light. It almost kind of looks like what do they call them? Greek goddess? Is that what they call those smoothies with like spinach and peas and all the like green stuff in it? I've never had one, but I've heard of them. I'm not allowed to have spinach, by the way, because of one of the meds I take. So, yeah. Actually, I know what else I can mix into here. Sorry, I'm blocking all your light. There you go, now you see better. So, I'm just going to coat everything, as you can tell. And now I'm just going to microwave that for like 4 minutes. Okay, as you can hear, we are frying our meat. Now I added just a little bit of pepper, probably like a pinch of peppers I added, just for flavor.
Stir that around a little bit.
You don't want to stir too much at this point though. Okay, so what's going on now is I am doing the mock pretend fake grilled flavor section. I don't know if you can tell, but I have the heat at 8. That's where it's pointed to. Can't really see that. I have it at an 8. And I'll give you an inside shot there. There it is, frying. Ooh, frying. You know. I have it at an 8 so I can get it browned on the outside. But quite quickly. Because what you're trying to do is kind of like the char flavor. So you're trying to quickly brown the outside. So when you're doing this, you don't want to stir too much. But you need to hover over it. Do it for only like 3 or 4 minutes and watch it, because you don't want it to move around too much so it browns, but you don't want it to burn, so you do have to watch it. So my tips are, don't stir it too much, watch it, and only do it for like 3 or 4 minutes. And then we'll show you when everything is plated. And we're combining everything instead of having the beans on the side. Last minute decision, but that's what we decided to do, because this is how we cook. We decide as we go. Anyway, we'll show you everything when combined.
Alright, and we are back with your guys' probably favorite part of the video. The plating and the tasting.
Although, probably your favorite. Although I do know some of you like the learning, too. So, we have 3 things to tell you before we go ahead and do it.
The first one is right before the rice was done boiling, we decided to add some lemon and lime to it.
Now, the amounts were a 1/4 of each. I didn't measure, but that's about what I did.
Now, we do that near the end so as to kind of incorporate the flavor of it, and it'll actually stay with the rice. Like, she can elaborate a little bit more on that.
Because when you add it into anything that's boiling, you have to then strain at some point. So some of the flavor is going to be lost. So if you're doing it right near the end, you don't have to strain, the water's almost gone, or when the water's gone, you can do it right before you take it out as well. And that way, it will absorb more. But if you do it when there's a little bit of water, it'll absorb a lot into the rice. I know because I tried some before I took it off the stove. Don't worry, I was careful. And it was really lemony and limey. So if you do it that way, it just sucks out. Something else is I have a tip about the meat. You can do it the way I said, for like 3 or 4 minutes, brown it, like see how it got kind of like a skin, like a really dark kind of browned skin on it, almost like you would on a grill. Well, that's from a short period of high heat. Now, if that really bothers you or worries you and you're like, I'm going to burn it if I do that, no, I can't, then a more beginner's way of doing it, although I'm fairly close to being a beginner when it comes to that, but an even more beginner way of doing it is add a couple tablespoons of water and then just do it for longer. Do it for like 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes instead. And then that way, there's less likely a chance of it burning, but it should still get brown. You just gotta do it longer, that's all. And you could do like add a tablespoon, wait till it's gone, wait 30 seconds, add a tablespoon, and you could do it that way if you want as well. And if you do burn it, a tip that I've learned over the years just from cooking that you can do if you just barely burn it. Now this doesn't work if you like burn every piece a lot, but if you burn a few a little bit, adding an extra bit of lemon or lime, or if you're adding any like orange flavoring into it, or anything citrusy, I find helps with that personally. You could also go the route of sweet instead if you wanted that instead. Both sweet and citrusy, in my opinion, help mask that flavor. And also, we did combine everything, as you can tell, instead of, as we said earlier, just for anyone who's joining now or skipped ahead, we combined everything. We were going to have the beans on the side, but we just decided last minute to combine it.
Yeah, sometimes our decisions when we cook are made on the
During
spot.
cooking, because that's just how we kind of do things.
Yeah.
So, now we're going to try.
All right.
One last thing I forgot to say. Totally sorry. Adding the beans and then microwaving it wasn't a big deal. I didn't think it was going to be, but it wasn't a big deal. And the way to fix the water issue, or at least the way I fixed it, was immediately after taking it out of the microwave, stir for like 1 or 2 minutes straight, and you should be fine. But like I said, if you do want it thicker and it's not good enough, and there is a little too much water in there, you add more veggies, or you microwaved it not long enough for some of it to be absorbed, again, just add a little flour. You could fry the flour or microwave the flour beforehand. A little water, stir that together, add it, microwave it for another 30 seconds to a minute, you should be fine. Now we're going to try. Sorry for talking so much.
All right.
So I'll let him try first.
Oh. Yeah. Bring it up there. Okay. Oh my goodness, that is amazing. Not very spicy. Just gonna take a little water just to keep things going, but that was very tasty.
I don't know if you noticed, but it got a little dark there. I just adjusted that on the camera because it was overly bright. I know his face is now a little shadowed, but as you can see, it was like a beam of light on his sweater, and it was making it super bright. So.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that was amazing. The pork cooked to perfection.
I touched something that made black and white there for a second, guys. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
That's just our night vision thing on the camera.
We're
not used to it. We've only had the camera.
We're getting used to this camera.
Yeah, we've only had the camera for a little while.
One day.
Go over this way. Yeah, and he's tried it once or twice, and I've tried it like 3 or 4 times. So give us time. After a little while, we'll get used to it. Same thing happened with the old camera when I had it. When we bought it. So now I'm gonna try, and he's going in for seconds because it's that good again.
That and I'm hungry.
Okay, I have 2 pieces of meat. Oh well, whatever. Not like it matters. That's a good coating on the meat. I would say on a scale of 1 to 10 for spicy, 10 being like I can't handle it. 5 is like, it's a little spicy, but it's easy to handle, and 1 being quite spicy. I would say it's about a 3 or a 4.
I would say it's about a 4. You can tell it's there, but it's not a kick to the taste buds.
Yeah, it's like, it's there, and it's not like it takes a while to show up. It shows up right away, but it's consistently mild. It's not one of those ones where you swallow and then it's like more. And if you go like that, it just kind of actually makes it dissipate a bit in your mouth, or makes it more mild. So it's very mild. It's not very spicy. But it is definitely noticeable. I don't think any of you said that you wanted us to rate, but you might have. I want to, so I'm going to rate it a 7. I think I would like to start incorporating that, just because I think that's kind of fun. So I'm going to rate it a 7 out of 10. The only reason I'm not rating it higher is because it doesn't have garlic in it. I'd probably give it an 8 if it had garlic. And also, beans are, like, not one of my favorite vegetables. I like them. They're just not my favorite. So it's 7.5. 7.5 for me.
I would have to say that it's about, probably, I think I'd have to give that an 8. The spiciness is not that strong, but it's there. The pork is cooked to perfection. You know, the pesto, amazing.
Or pea sauce, whatever you want to call it.
All right, yeah, so I think that's about it. Like, I'd give this an 8. She said she'd give it about a 7 or 7.5, somewhere in there.
Yep. So we're done.
All right, so,
if you could like, share, subscribe, that'd be lovely. We, as always, we have Twitter and Instagram in the description down below. Again, if you have any questions about what equipment you use, just check the description. It'll be down there. And thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.
All right, thank you for joining us on Noobs to Foodies, and I really hope that we see you next time. Bye-bye.